going to share some of our, let me just click this, that Plexus has brought us and share some of our favorite products. And we're just going to have a few fun giveaways. And how that will work is we'll just ask a question that doesn't have a right answer, and you just put your answer in the chat, and then we'll let you know the giveaways later at the end. But basically, we'll just mute everybody during the presentation, and then at the end, we can unmute so you can participate in that. So if you think of any questions, please write it down, and we'll make sure that we either answer it or find that out for you later. And then just a disclaimer is that Plexus does not claim to cure any illness. These are just our experiences. We're just normal everyday people. We're not doctors. But we found that the Plexus products to be a great health tool for our health. And we're just sharing our experiences. And of course, experiences can vary according to your health, what you put into it, your lifestyle, and your consistency. So with that, we're going to start with Caitlin, who's going to share a little bit about gut health and blood sugar balance.
Okay, so thank you for that, Tracy. And so I want to talk a little bit about gut health and blood sugar balance, but I'm going to focus more on blood sugar balance because I feel like we hear so much about gut health these days. I mean, I was in the store the other day and I literally saw a snack that advertised probiotics in it. So we talk about gut health a lot. But it is important. And we talk about the 3 pillars for health, and that is gut health, blood sugar balance, and inflammation healing. So, so they are really important, but we're going to focus a little bit more on blood sugar balance because I feel like it's the undersung part of the trio. So our first giveaway is going to be a response to a little bit of info about blood sugar balance. So, what I'm going to do, if you have not used the chat feature before on Zoom, you're going to want to look for that on your phone or on your computer. I'm going to read a list of clues that you could be dealing with blood sugar imbalance. And what you're going to do is you're going to respond in the chat with the number, like number 4, number 3, just the number of these clues that you relate to or that you have related to in the past. So that's all there is. That's all you have to do is just respond with a number. So this is the list. These are some clues that you could be dealing with blood sugar imbalance: fatigue, irritability, headaches, extra belly fat, cravings for carbs and sugar, feeling hangry, a buffalo hump, which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when you get that little like hump like at the top of your back, instead of like having that like gradual incline, it's like a very distinct little hump. That's called a buffalo hump, and that's connected with blood sugar imbalance. And hormone imbalance. If you're seeing, blood work that's showing hormone imbalance, or you see symptoms of hormone imbalance, that could be as connected to blood sugar imbalance. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about my experience. And while I do that, go ahead and write your number in the chat so you can be entered to win. We have some soap here and some lotion, perfect for these winter months. So, so I related to a lot of these things back 4 years ago, before I had tried Plexus, and especially the hanger in between meals. I also dealt with a few other symptoms that made me wonder if I needed to have a little more support for my health. Some really obvious ones were I had a lot of food sensitivities, not food allergies, but food sensitivities. And being married to an Indian man with a mother who cooks amazing Indian food, it was very sad to get a rice belly every time I would eat rice. I got this big bloated belly every time I ate rice. And pretty much any grain I was sensitive to, and mostly dairy. And I would wake up in the morning and I would not feel rested. My husband used to laugh at me because I would roll my body out of bed and kind of like fall out of bed so I could go to work because I was so tired. So those were some big ones. I'd always dealt with digestive issues, IBS, things like that. So those were like some things I was especially dealing with. I would have a breakout as well when I would eat foods I was sensitive to. And I also had this kind of new belly, and I kind of didn't know if it was because I was just newly married. We ate a lot of fun food, but I just knew that my body wasn't where I wanted it to be. I didn't feel very great. So, so what I started on is something called the triplex, and this supports those 3 pillars of health we talked about: the blood sugar balance, the inflammation, and the gut health. So the bio cleanse is one of the 3. And this one is great for so many things, but one of the biggest results I saw from it was helping me to become more regular every day. I'd never been regular before. Bio cleanse is so important for gut health in that it helps get the crud out of your body. So it helps the cells release all the toxins, and it helps get the toxins out of your body through your bowel movements and through other forms. So this is really great. It's also really great for oxygenating your body, which is also so necessary for health. This is the probiotic, which we hear so much about these days. I had taken probiotics before and hadn't really noticed much of a difference, but this one I did notice a difference. And one thing I really love about it is that it's freeze dried. So it waits to activate till it gets to where you want it to go, your gut. So it has these digestive enzymes, and it has so many amazing things that help populate your gut with good bacteria so that you can have balance again in your gut, so it can be healthy. So it works really, really well with the BioCleanse. They kind of work together. This feeds the good, the BioCleanse helps get the bad out. And then the other thing I really noticed an immediate difference with was the Slim drink. This is a blood sugar balance powerhouse. This actually was initially designed for diabetics. So it's all about blood sugar balance, but it's just so amazing for hormones because your insulin is your master hormone, and so it affects all your other hormones. So it's wonderful for that. It's wonderful for inflammation. It's wonderful for feeding the good bacteria in your gut. I also read recently that I hadn't really connected before. It's really interesting, is that the chromium in this actually helps the cells release the energy that you need in your day. So that's why so many of us feel really energetic when we drink this drink, is because it's helping you actually use your energy efficiently. So anyway, so I took that set together, and the first thing I noticed is I noticed better sleep at night. So I wasn't doing as much of that, like roll my body out of bed and flop into the day, because I actually was sleeping really well at night. The other thing I noticed is so much less bloating. Just in general, I noticed so much less bloating within the first couple weeks, which really surprised me because it was really soon to see results. And as time went on, I noticed more things. Like I noticed that I was becoming regular. I noticed my food sensitivities start to go away. I noticed things like, oh, I don't get heartburn anymore after I eat spicy food. I noticed more energy. So many things that I noticed over especially that first year of healing. Because one of the things I love about these products, especially the triplex, is they're so good at addressing root issues, health issues. So at least for me, that was the case. And so that's a little bit about my experience with the triplex and with the products. And ever since then, I've just continued to see healing. And as my husband and I are going through an infertility journey, it's been very comforting to know that I had started working on my hormones years ago. So I have that much less work to do now because I've been supporting my body all these years, as well as just like getting all the crud out of your body, because it's amazing how many people struggle with things like IBS and indigestion. So that's a little bit about my story. So don't forget to comment so you can be entered for the drawing.
So next is Lene. I don't see you on here. There you are. Oh, unmute, Lene. You're muted.
Okay, I got it. My phone wasn't letting me, anyways, it popped up. I still have yet to find the chat button on my phone on Zoom. So, but yes, I am so happy to be able to be here with you all tonight and share a little bit of my story with you. I started 8 years ago on the triplex, and I had pretty much every single one of those issues that Caitlin mentioned. Um, my thyroid doctor at the time wanted me to take a prescription, which he was a more holistic doctor, which really surprised me that he wanted me to take a prescription, but he said we have to try to get my um, autoimmune under control. He said it was going crazy and it was attacking my thyroid, which, yeah, diagnosed me with Hashimoto's, leaky gut, adrenal fatigue, all that stuff. And I was not willing to take the prescription that he wanted me to take. I didn't want to go that route. I didn't want to have another medication that I had to go to the pharmacy for or have a doctor fill. And so I called my sister-in-law, Brenda, who had been talking to me about Plexus, and I started on the triplex. And yeah, a little bit of my story was it was not that pretty at the beginning at all. I was craving everything out of this world, sweets. I was irritable. Come to find out, I had a lot of yeast overgrowth, I'm pretty sure. And that was what I was dealing with, and I didn't even realize it at the time. But when Plexus came out with the product Ease, that's the product I'm actually going to try to focus on tonight, mostly. I was excited because I wanted to try to go as all natural as I could. And if that meant I could replace my Advil or my Tylenol in my cupboard with Ease, I was pumped. Um, and I very seldom took ibuprofen or Tylenol. But when I did, I wanted to have, something better to take. So I was taking my Ease like I would take my Advil and Tylenol, not very consistently, but just, every once in a while I might get a little bit of a headache or, um, especially when I was going to right around my period, I used to get cramps so bad. And that's when I would take my Ease. Well, come to find out, my thyroid doctor wanted me to take high doses of fish oil, and the Ease has green lipped mussel in it, which I was told I can substitute that for my fish oil. So I was super, super excited, and I decided I'm going to start taking it consistently and daily. I take it anywhere from 3 to 6 pills of Ease a day. I love it for the fact that I don't have to buy another fish oil pill, and I'm seeing amazing results just as far as um, I feel like my joints maybe don't hurt quite as much, that type of thing. Oh, yeah, it's been amazing. So I really do like the Ease for that. Um, just hold on. Are you leaving, hon? Bye. So anyways, where was I? About the Ease. Um, yeah, just if you are wanting to find something for your fish oil, the Ease is a great thing to take. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say about my journey. Um, Oh, I have to tell you guys because it's so fun. Today I went and I rollerbladed an hour and a half with a friend, and I can tell my legs are sore. But I can almost tell you tonight I'm going to be taking my Ease before I go to bed. I'll be taking it in the morning when I wake up. I heard that it's good to take on an empty stomach. So yeah, I'm just excited because I don't think I'll be feeling that sore tomorrow after all that rollerblading. I was pretty excited about that. So one thing I wanted to say about my thyroid journey was that my thyroid doctor at the time was like, it was my autoimmune that was attacking my thyroid. He's like, we have to get that down. I had extremely high numbers, which if you ever gotten tested for thyroid and they test for like your TPO, it's your antibodies type stuff for um, to see if you have Hashimoto's. Mine was extremely high. And when I started taking Plexus, I think I was on it maybe a month or two, and I went back and got tested again. Those antibodies had dropped. I think it was over 100 points, which I was super excited because you're not supposed to have points even above I don't know, it's like an extremely low number. And mine was extremely high. So I was really excited about that, but it didn't drop low enough that he was okay with me, whatever. But it proved to me that Plexus was working. Come to find out later that this is just a little side note for any of you that if you maybe have thyroid issues, your antibodies or your TPO, I think that's what it's called. It is highly affected by stress. So if you go get tested and you're really stressed out, it's going to be higher. So maybe, yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. You can't always, it can change within an hour or whatever. So you can't always fully go off of, oh, I have extremely high antibodies. So anyways, that was just a little side note for you guys all. But I think that's pretty much all that I have to share tonight. So thank you for letting me share with you guys.
Hey, Lene, this might not
Yeah.
help. You might have tried it, but try moving your cursor all the way to the bottom of the screen and see if you see the chat pop up.
See, I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay, I'm not sure then.
And I
Anybody?
have the little dots at the bottom, and I've tried to swipe and I've tried to do all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna figure it out one of these days. I see your guys' chats, like when you, but yeah. Anyways,
All right,
there.
thanks, Lynn. Yep. Did you
Yes,
find
you're welcome. No, well, it had popped up like where I can mute myself, share. Is it the share button?
Mine is like 3 dots. I click on it and I can go, it gives me a bunch of choices, and one of them is chat. I click on it, I can read all the chats, and I can add my own at the bottom.
There it is. I found it. I found it. Thank you.
All right, do you mind muting yourself, Lene?
Yes, I can do that. If I can get out of here.
Okay, so I am ready for another giveaway. I don't have what I'm going to give away right here, but I have a blender bottle that says "Hello Happy" on the side, and Plexus, because we love Plexus, that I will ship right to you if you are the lucky winner. So my question for the chat is, you can take it either way. The first way you could take it is, what is your favorite way to exercise? Or if you're someone who doesn't really like to exercise, because a lot of us out there are like that, don't really like to exercise, but if you had to exercise, what way would you choose to exercise? So give me that answer in the chat, because we all know, especially in the wintertime, it's really hard to stay active, and we need to. Okay, so I just turned 40. I have 7 kids. I live in Minnesota. And goodness, I just had my 7-year Plex anniversary just, I don't know, a couple days ago. So that's fun. So 7 years ago, I had a newborn. Well, I was like 3 months postpartum, and I was feeling just crummy. I was waking up thinking, I don't want to be the mom that just sits on the couch and is exhausted all day. I don't want to, I don't want to be that mom. I don't want to be the mom that has to be like drinking coffee all day long and is like yelling at the kids, like I did not, that's not who I wanted to be. And I had 6 kids at the time, and I'm thinking, I've got to do something. I want to be proactive. And I'm with Lene. I heard about Plexus from Brenda. She's my first cousin. And so I thought, it's worth a shot, right? Worth a shot. So jumped right in, started sharing about it right away. That's one thing I love about Plexus. When you share about it, then they pay you super well just for talking about something you love. So yes, because I knew that my husband was not going to be excited about spending money on supplements. So, and I really have barely ever in 7 years had to pay out of pocket. I mean, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times. So that's a huge blessing. Okay. Where am I going? Okay. So I was just feeling old. I was feeling tired. I was feeling super sluggish, and I just didn't want to feel that way. I wanted to be active and alert and enthusiastic, and yeah, just want to feel good. Right. And I can say that I do. So yay, I'm 40 and I feel good. Awesome. And sleep better and digestion so much better. So many things. So what a blessing to me and to my kids, right? Not just for me, it's great for my whole family. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about X Factor. You can't really see it. We have two different kinds. This is our multivitamin. And people, you know, we all know you should take a multivitamin. Most people do, but it's always good to think, is my multivitamin actually worth my time and money? Because a lot of the kind of over-the-counter ones out there are just sort of garbage, honestly, if you kind of research the quality of the ingredients or the type of ingredient that's in there, if that makes sense. So like I can't think of the word that I want to say, but for example, like you can take vitamin C, but there are different forms of vitamin C, right? So one form might be easier for your body to use than another form. And that's just one example, but there are lots of vitamins like that out there, or minerals, and it really can just make such a difference if you have the right, you know, the right kind of mineral or vitamin so that your body can actually use it, right? So that's what X Factor is all about. We have two kinds. One, I don't have the other kind. The other one's called X Factor Plus. This is X Factor Original. The difference, you'll win either way. Like it doesn't matter which one you pick. But the difference is the one I don't have, X Factor Plus, has more vitamins, more minerals. It has polyphenols. It has some like gut health stuff. It's got a ton going on. It's a great product. This one, what makes it special is it actually has fewer vitamins and minerals, but in some ways that's good, because some people, especially if you're sensitive, some people when they take a multivitamin, it really is hard on their digestive system or on their stomach, or they just don't feel good. So this one is super gentle. So that's a great option, especially if you're somebody who just struggles with multivitamins. And it has a ton of aloe in it, and aloe just helps you when you take aloe with the vitamins and minerals, it just helps your body absorb better. I think the number is like 300% better, or some insanely big number. And this one has tons of aloe. The other one, X Factor Plus, has aloe too. This one just has extra aloe. So especially if you're someone who is just sensitive to things or tends to have tummy troubles or whatever, this one is a great option, but the other one's amazing. You really can't go wrong. So I think that's all I want to say today, but I am excited to hear your exercise ideas.
Hello, I am Shauna, and I'm excited to be on here tonight too and share some of my story. I think there's some of you on here who have never heard my story, and I know there's some I have never heard before. I dealt with hypoglycemia and headaches and stuff like that from in my teens. And when I got married, and I got pregnant very early on, and I had a yeast infection in my pregnancy, and I thought, well, whatever, it is what it is, right? But it never went away. Like I had 4 babies in 6 years, and I just always had yeast. It never seemed to go away. And I needed to nap every day. I thought it was just because moms are always tired when they have lots of babies. But if I didn't take a nap, I would have a headache by 5 o'clock. And I basically live for naps. So get your kids up in the morning, and as soon as they've had their lunch, I went to lie down, and I pretty much spent the whole afternoon in bed because I was so tired, and then the headaches. And so I took a lot of Advil and stuff like that. And as time went on, the hypoglycemia started to make me anxious. I was always afraid to leave the house without a snack, because I might pass out. Well, I don't want to pass out somewhere. That would be embarrassing. And so it started to make me anxious, and that anxiety just turned to panic attacks. And it actually led to suicidal thoughts, which seemed to come out of nowhere. I have a wonderful Christian husband. We have healthy, happy children. There was nothing going on in my life that would bring on anything that I should and my life. And so I prayed that the Lord would bring the right thing to me. And I went to a doctor because I thought, well, I really should look at this. If this is so serious, maybe I need some medication. Well, I went to the doctor and they said, well, you're not really, if you look at all your things in your anxiety and panic attacks and whatever, it's really not on the spectrum that you would need medication. I thought, okay, well, whatever. Anyway, a few months later, a friend offered me a Plexus sample, and I never even connected it with my anxiety at all, but I just knew that I needed to deal with the yeast. And so it was within a few days of taking the slim sample. I got the 7-day sample from her, and I noticed a difference in my digestion. I thought, well, obviously this is doing something, and I'm all in. And at the time, we could not get the Probio 5 in Canada. And so I got the Vital Biome. Anyway, so the Vital Biome is another probiotic. It doesn't have the enzyme strains in it, but this one has 8 different probiotic strains, and it has been proven to help with stress levels. And so I started taking these, and I probably took I went up to 4 a day because I couldn't get the Probio 5. So I was taking 4 of these a day because I was like, I need to do this. And I was taking the Bio Cleanse at the time and the pink drink, and I think just the triplex. Well, without the Probio 5, is the Vital Biome instead. And it wasn't until several months later I realized, you know what? I haven't had any panic attacks, haven't had any anxiety. The suicidal thoughts are completely gone. And this was the only thing that really changed in my life, was adding the supplements for Plexus. So at the time, I didn't realize, like I said, the gut-brain connection, but I have learned so much since then. And I'm so thankful for the day that Janice gave me the Plexus sample. My energy has improved. I do not have the headaches like I used to have. And I don't nap anymore. Rarely do I nap. And if I nap, I can nap for 10 minutes and I can go on with my day. I have since added the X Factor Plus, Active, Lean, pretty much all of them, and Ease. Ease was a game changer too for the headaches. It was just the inflammation, getting that down. I do still occasionally get a headache, especially over Christmas when I've eaten too many sweets. I can tell immediately. If I've eaten too much sugar, I will have a headache in the next day or so. Anyway, I am so thankful for Plexus, and I'm thankful to the Lord because he brought it to me, and it is an answer to prayer. And I was going to do a giveaway too for everyone. Since this is just after Christmas, I would like you to share with me, what is one of your favorite things to do during the holidays? And just share it. One of the things that I like to do, I'll actually say 2 of them. I like to play games with my family. We have 4 children. And also we like to watch family movies. And during that time, I like to knit and crochet. So the thing I'm going to give away today is a headband that I've knit. You just pin it. There's a button at the back. So tell me what your favorite thing to do is, and you can win one of these.
Thank you, Shauna. That's really neat. I want to see it again though. Can you put it can you put it on? My daughter crochets too. Oh, cool. It's like has a little rim. Neat. I guess you need those up there, right? Oh, you're muted.
Yes. So there's a button on the back and you just put it in the loop. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I tried to decorate them a little bit. You can't really see, there's a little flower.
Very pretty. Did you make it up or did you follow a pattern?
Oh, I found a pattern. I'm not that good.
Well, thank you for sharing. And my name is Tracy Adamson, and I'm a mom of 12. Half of my kids we adopted, in case you're wondering. But to start off, I'm going to share my question, or maybe I should give you more time for the other one. See if it looks like, okay, I'll just wait on my question. So we actually started Plexus to help my daughter, who was 9 at the time, and she was really struggling with a chronic tick-borne illness. Just having lots of issues, severe skin issues, just debilitating exhaustion, headaches, and other things. But we had tried so many things. And so when she ended up in the hospital with skin infections, we decided we didn't want to go back to the antibiotic treatment that she was on with a specialist. And so I had seen a testimony about eczema. And so I started looking into it, and I found out all the stuff that Caitlin was talking about how it helped those core body issues of blood sugar balance, gut health, inflammation, which I knew those had to be issues for her, especially, after all that treatment and infection. So we started her on that. Shortly after that, my adopted son with special needs ended up in the PICU on a ventilator. It was just a nightmare of a situation, which all started from a bowel obstruction, believe it or not. And then he went into respiratory distress when he was giving a NG tube through his nose. So it just kind of started a downhill spiral. So during that really, really stressful time, a friend of mine who had shared with me about Plexus in the beginning had encouraged me to get on the products just to kind of support my health during that time. It was very stressful. We weren't sleeping very much, and just so I could kind of be my best for my family. But what I found was that as I got consistent, it helped all my health issues. I was dealing with severe exhaustion even before that happened. So I started to have all day energy. It also helped me with my severe migraines, which, just with a lot of kids, at the time I had 9 kids, that was very, very hard, and it would last for 3 days. I need to be like in a dark room by myself. So it doesn't work very well being a mom of many, or for anybody really. Those started to go away, and now they are very rare. I also was dealing with anxiety and panic attacks to the point where I wasn't able to drive, or at least I stopped driving for about a year. Very inconvenient for a mom of, with kids. And I didn't understand it because, I love driving. I love going places with my kids. I didn't understand why. We were very health conscious. I always ate really healthy. I mean, we were doing all the things, making carrot juice. We had goats. We made our own yogurt. We made kefir. We lived in the country and made everything from scratch. But as I looked more into gut health, when I got on these products, I found that all of those issues were linked to gut health. And we were taking probiotics. We were doing all those things. But I never really saw a difference. So, as Caitlin explained, our probiotic just is different. It has those added enzymes, it has the antifungal, and the freeze dry, it just was more effective for me. So I noticed a big difference. So just so thankful for me, but I'm, if it hadn't helped me, I still would be sharing about Plexus because of how it helped my daughter. I mean, we were spending all our free time trying to figure out how to help her. This was our Energizer bunny as a little girl, and she was, exhausted and just crying because of her skin hurting so much and not able to wear like shorts or short sleeves. So when that started to heal and help her, we were just so thankful. And then it also helped my son. The reason he went into the hospital was because of that bowel obstruction, because he has chronic constipation ever since he was at the orphanage, because he doesn't have normal motility in his bowels. So the BioCleanse especially has been a great answer to prayer for him. And my daughter's doing much better. Like I said, she has to be consistent, just like all of us do. It's not like you take it one time and it's gone. It's not a cure. It's something that you support your body with. You make adjustments in your lifestyle. You have to be consistent. And as your gut heals, as your blood sugar balances, you have whatever you're dealing with often will get better. So we're so thankful for that. So that what we had started on was the triplex, which Caitlin explained in the beginning. And then the next thing I added was the X Factor vitamins, which is what Chris talked about. But I was going to share just about 2 other products that we have used, you know, in more recent years, different people in our family. But one of them is the lean shakes, which look like this. This is the whey chocolate. There's also vegan chocolate and vanilla, and there's regular whey vanilla. But these are great because they have first of all, they have a really healthy source of clean protein. I forget how many grams. Help me out, guys. I think it's like 18 or 20. But anyway, here it is, 15 grams. But it also has, I don't know if you've looked at protein shakes, but usually it's just like protein. But these have a ton of vitamins and they're all bioavailable, so your body can use it. So I know for me, I feel really great when I take this. It tastes really good. I usually use it as one of my meals. I just add like frozen fruit. I add almond milk. You can add whatever you want in there. You'll get some really good stuff in there. And then I aside until the next meal. So I really love that. That can be super helpful, just with general health, but also with weight loss. You know, so you have something healthy. You're not snacking on unhealthy things. So we love those, and my vegetarian daughter really loves them too. So I really love that she's getting all those vitamins. Another one that I just wanted to share is the Active. And this is, you know, just a natural energy drink. It basically supports your body's natural energy. Just has it has B vitamins, it has different botanicals, different plant ingredients that not only support energy, but provide mental clarity, and focus, which can be super helpful for us mamas. It also helps support our nitric oxide production, which is really great for like muscle recovery after a workout. And it can be just a great alternative to those unhealthy kind of energy drinks or things that you might turn to like coffee or soda, because it doesn't have sugar in it. It's sweetened with stevia, only has 25 calories. I know for me, it helps me a lot in the afternoon. Like the Slim will actually give you balanced energy throughout the day without the ups and downs, you know, when your blood sugar is not balanced. But this gives a little bit extra, and you don't feel jittery with it. It does have a little bit of natural caffeine in it. So, you know, just be aware of that. Like I tend to take just half a packet and that's plenty for me. Some people, you know, take a full one. So it's kind of something that you could take here and there, or you could take it regularly. It's just up to you. And there's different flavors. My favorite is the starfruit guava. This is the peach. We're kind of split in our family what we like. And my son likes it after workout. So I love that he's not reaching for the junk that's out there. So those are some of my favorites in addition to the triplex. And next we will, oh, I have to do my question. I'm sorry. Okay, my question is to share one goal that you have for the new year and one step that you're going to take to work toward it.
Okay, are you ready for me to go, Tracy? Or do you want me to give them a minute?
It's up to you. They could just start writing their answers.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. I'm Michelle Snyder, and I feel like the baby of the group. I've only been doing Plexus for 3.5 years. So my daughter called me one day and she told me that she had started this new supplement program and she wondered if I'd like to join her. Well, she knew to call me because I'm a professional supplement taker. I've been taking them most of my life. And I only took the best, which most of the time I purchased through our naturopath. I found out this was an MLM, so I was a little skeptical. No advertising on TV, no radio, nothing on the billboards. You can't get this through your nature path. What kind of stuff is this anyway? You know, we can't buy it in stores. You don't see it when you go to Costco, Walmart, anywhere. I was a little bit skeptical, but you know, like all moms, you know how we are. I wanted to help my daughter, and I hoped that it would fix a few things that were wrong with me, which none of the other supplements had touched. My husband was sick too, and I was desperate. Nothing else had worked with him, from biologic infusions to special diets. And I'm talking home fermentation with sauerkraut, kefir, kombucha. We did it all. I even tried chicken feet on him. I read things. I read a book that said chicken feet would help. So, you know, the poor guy, he just took everything that I told him to take, and nothing worked. Nothing worked. And he frankly got pretty tired of me trying to help him. He had finally just at a certain point opted for a colostomy. Now there's a difference between a colostomy and a colonoscopy. A colostomy is where they cut out your colon and hook you to a bag the rest of your life. And that's where we were with my husband. We had tried everything else, and he'd become kind of cranky, you know, like he finally just told me, you know, stop it. You know, I don't want you to say any more to me about any of these snake oils you're bringing home or anything. I'm just going to do what the doctor says, because he'd been going on for 6.5 years and he was tired of it. So I did not tell him about Plexus. He knew I was doing it, but I didn't bug him about it or anything. I started myself, and I had been dealing with, I heard a lot of these mentioned already, chronic constipation, like Tracy's son. I dealt with that for years, and I had all kinds of things. I mean, I was even doing enemas once in a while. It was just really bad. And within the first week of taking the triplex, my constipation was gone. I also had ulcers. I'd been dealing with ulcers since college. And because I was taking so many over-the-counter pills for my ulcer or for my headaches, which I also had, I gave myself the ulcers. That's where they came from. Shauna mentioned hypoglycemia. I had that. I had high cholesterol. I still have high cholesterol, have to be honest, but in the last, when I took my first test, 3 months after, my cholesterol hadn't gone down. So a year and 3 months later, I went back and it had gone down 30 points. And so it's still going down, and I'm really, really excited about that. I think it was Lene that mentioned Hashimoto's. I had that. My doctor, after 8 months, took me off of my medication for that. It was all, and you know, I'd done all these other things. So it's like, this stuff is the real McCoy. This is really working. I had been diagnosed with Barrett's disease in 2013. My doctor, I went in for not an annual, but every 3 years I had to go in for a test, and he checked me and he said, it's gone. You don't have it anymore. And he took me off the medication. So, you know, all these things are from the past. I'm not dealing with those anymore. I didn't even notice for 2 weeks. Okay, I was a Diet Coke addict. I liked my morning coffee and I liked my afternoon naps. And I went 2 weeks and it dawned on me, I haven't been making coffee in the morning. And I still drink coffee. I don't make it in the morning like I used to. I completely kicked the Diet Coke cravings, and I no longer needed naps. And I didn't even notice, you know, until 2 weeks later. And I look back and it's like, wow, you know, those things were just so gradual, and I just didn't have time for them, I guess. So anyway, my husband saw some of the initial changes and he decided to give it a try. He came downstairs one day and he goes, boy, you sure have a lot more energy. I think I'll try some of that stuff. It came out of his mouth, not mine. And so we'd been praying for him for 6.5 years. He was losing weight. He was down to, he's normally 190, 200 pounds, and he was down to below 160, he was dying. And I won't go into how bad it was, but just trust me, it was very, very bad. And so we'd been praying, a lot of people have been praying for him, and things started to change for him relatively soon, like not healing at all, but he didn't need an enema every single night. His bleeding, his internal bleeding had slowed down gradually, you know, and so he said, I think something's happening here. He called the surgeon and he postponed his surgery. He says, I don't want to do that yet. Let's just see what this stuff does. And to make a long story short, after 11 months of consistency, and I mean, that man was consistent. He went by the book. He set alarms and he did everything. He didn't miss a dose. The doctor took him off of all of his meds, including regular trips to the hospital for biologic infusions. And he still has his colon to this day, no bag, and everything's working really well. That same specialist has listed, we saw the paper, we have the paper in our possession where it says medications, you know, and then underneath it, it lists all the medications that you're taking. He has written Plexus Triplex. That is his gastroenterologist. That's what he wrote on my husband's medication list. So anyway, we have just been praising the Lord. We just cannot believe that he answered that prayer the way he did. It was just absolutely incredible. And so people knew how sick my husband was. And so they started asking and we shared and people came on with us. And now we make a nice little income to subsidize our retirement income. And so it's just been an extra blessing on top. So blessing upon blessing. And so, yeah, God has truly blessed us through Plexus in many ways. And I'm just really glad that you're taking a look at it. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our Belly Busters challenge that is coming up. It's a 21-day challenge. It starts October 10th and it goes January 10th and it goes through January 30th. And I signed up for it. And weight is not a real big issue with me usually, but I still need the accountability. But my brother died in October and that was a horrific time for our family. And so, you know, when your schedule changes and companies around and people are in and out, you get off track. And so I started to notice, and then after through the holidays as well, I started to notice that my clothes were fitting a little tighter. And so this, what's it called? Belly buster thing sounded kind of good to me. It has 4 easy steps and it's just a way for us to hold each other accountable. And so I mentioned the dates already, and we're going to be encouraging the importance of drinking water through this, of moving our body, taking our supplements. And what I'm going to be taking through mine now, I'm going to take my Plexus or Triplex, the whole, I've been taking it all along. I'm not going to change that. So, but I always do the microbiome activating slim. I'm switching for this belly buster challenge. I'm going to do the hunger control slim. And I'm also doing Tracy. I think it was Tracy that mentioned active. I'm going to be taking that too because it gives me energy and it makes me feel like moving. More so, I mean, the slim does it too, but this just kind of gives me an extra boost. And I like the MetaBurn as well. Boy, if you can, we're not going to take the time now to talk about it, but if you can find any information on MetaBurn, this would be a really good one if you're going to plan on doing this belly buster. It is a mood enhancer, and I like that. And but it has a lot to do with, it's on one of our weight loss programs. So one of our weight loss products. I also normally take block. I love block when I'm going to have a big meal. And I am not going to have any big meals during this belly buster challenge. I've decided that is just off limits. But I did want to tell you guys about it. This is a product that you might want to look into. It's something that you can take just before you sit down to pizza. Maybe your family's going out or it's somebody's birthday or whatever. You just take it before a meal. And I'm going to be not going to be taking this, but I did want to tell you about it. Another thing I'm going to be doing is this. I don't remember who was it that talked about this one, but I'll be taking 1 meal a day. It was Tracy. All right. So I'll be substituting 1 meal a day, and you can substitute 2 meals a day with this. So I might even do that sometimes. So, and did I mention, oh, I don't think I did, intermittent fasting. We're going to be doing that. I don't know how much you know about it. But we're going to be holding each other accountable, answering questions and things like that. So that'll all be explained on the first day. So if you're planning on doing that, you guys get ready to feel more energetic, lose inches / pounds, maybe not pounds, but you will lose inches, and you're going to feel better and your clothes are going to fit better. And we're just going to have a lot of fun. So it's $5 to get signed up. That goes into the pot. And then there's a drawing, and I heard today, you guys, that the ante is up to $410. So somebody is going to win $410, someone who put in 5. So get your products ordered as soon as possible. If weight loss is not your goal, that's okay. You can do it with other products. We can help you get what you need. So anyway, that's what it's all about. And I strongly encourage you to look into that. It starts the 10th, so we've got a few more days.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. And we're gonna, Chris, I don't know if you want to just mute, and then we'll just share the giveaways and just see if there's any questions before we say goodnight.
Wait, do you want me to stop the recording? Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry.
Sure. I mean, I probably don't need it for that. So
Right.
it's shorter.